You have to be willing to be open. I have this saying that I say on my show, honest, open, and transparent. You can be honest with somebody, you can be transparent with them, but a lot of people aren't open, and it's because they're scared to be open. They're scared to be that vulnerable, like Mr. Lego said. They don't. I believe it's a practice, and I believe it's a practice from when you're smaller on up. When you're a child, you're told to be quiet. You're told to, do everything that the adults tell you to. You're told to get along with everyone. So, in essence, you kind of become a people pleaser if you're not really finding your own voice. You please other people. You don't want to let them down. You don't want to make them mad. You don't want to say how you truly feel because you feel like you're going to inconvenience someone or you're gonna hurt their feelings. So you then close yourself off to people. And so you have to practice being open by opening your mouth, saying how you feel, saying what's on your mind, and not feeling ashamed, not feeling like you're taking up space, but actually value yourself enough to be open. And then I think when you do that, you're able to be open with any and everyone who deserves it. But when you're with somebody, you have to be open. If you're not willing to be open, you shouldn't be with them.
All right. All right, brother Ali, what are your thoughts about how to actually be close to someone?
Um, I think to go a little deeper and more so not on the surface level and not taking anything from anyone else. And I know a lot of y'all are dealing with stuff, so my condolences to a lot of people or some of the people that's on the panel is going through things. And and paradise, whether you being genuine or whether you trolling or whatever you're going through as well too. Certain stories we shared before. I hope you doing good on your side as well too, and everybody else on the panel. I think if in how to actually be close to someone is you want to be close to people, and I think we're kind of still a little surface level. And when I mean by that, that close can be proximity, close can be temporary. Are we meaning like actually solidify relationships? Or are we talking like a for just a little bit of time? And I'm saying that because I believe the only way we can actually be close with each other is if the environment is suitable and if our interpersonal environment is suitable as well too. And I think when we have these discussions, a lot of discussions we having on and off the panel is there's a divide between men and women. And then what JR was saying on what the conversations that we're having, it is way more finger pointing going on than solution based conversation. So in order for us to become closer to someone, we have to want to be close to someone inside and outside, but the environment also has to be suitable for it as well too. But we have to come together as people as well to better the environment that we're going in. I think a lot of us keep focusing on, not people on the panel, I mean in general, we focus on individual responsibility, more of a collective responsibility. I think we can tend to get closer and be close to someone once we get the environment straight, and then the people get straight, and then we can get closer to each other. And regardless to the longevity of relationships, more so than temporary relationships, which is hurting a lot of us. And while we're coming to these panels to have these discussions.
All right. Casey, what are your thoughts about it, ma'am? You got something to say, Paradise? Hold on, Casey.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Paradise.
Um, I will wait till Casey finish, but I
Okay.
it's
Man. I
it,
didn't know if you wanted to follow up with what he said. Okay.
not
We'll come
what
back to you.
it's just the entire
I got
conversation.
you.
I will.
Go ahead, Casey. My apologies.
Oh no, no worries, no worries. First of all, I miss you guys. Happy to see all your great, beautiful faces. Um, so just talking about the topic, I just have to agree with Real Precious and Let Go and just everyone cherish the way you guys dug in intimacy, practicing intimacy and being open with each other is it's just a necessity. Having that willing spirit. I believe a couple months back, Lapeef, you had a show about like studying your partner and paying attention to your partner and really like anticipating their needs and learning them. I remember Precious going into detail about, just really learning who they are. That's important in a relationship because a lot of people bring past things that they had from other partners and they project that on in new relationships onto their new partner, and they assume emotionally they're the same just because they may be from the same area. They're, man, okay, this person was like this, so I'm sure he'll be like this, or she was like this, so she'll be like this. you just have to really go into it with open eyes, open heart, open mind, and willing to learn that person and see where you might have some blind spots in your relationship, and then be open and willing to build the bridges and the gaps that you may have to build that bond stronger and stronger. And then as the years go on, life happens and things happen, and we can change internally and mentally and emotionally, and certain things that cause us to shut down. And it's important that our partner is there to support us, not judge us, and just be loving and caring and help us through that. A lot of marriages and long-term relationships suffer when life happens, when loss happens, when hardship happens, job loss, struggles, all those types of things. And so that's when intimacy and dialing in closer to that person is so important, even with, having children, because in working, that can pull relationships apart. So building that intimacy and then being open as you grow older through life is important to remain close to your partner. It's an active love is always a verb, right? It's an action verb. Like, you have to get to work, you have to work on it, you have to be actively participating with that other person to be close to them.
All right. Thank you for that, Casey. Go ahead, Paris. You wanted to follow up?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, based off of everything that everybody's describing and their perspective, all I hear is that everybody goes back to the default self of like default setting of thinking about self. Anytime there's some form of an issue in a relationship, like Marcus mentioned vulnerability, like we didn't even talk about that portion, like when you just going through something or when you happy, right? Like it's like sometimes you steal the moments from your significant other, or like I said, sometimes kids steal the moments from the parents. Like everybody goes back to what is it about me, or like even if you were to bring up cheating or something like that, some form of infidelity, like it's always about the individual who was partaking in the thing. And we don't emphasize enough on sacrifice. Like that's where when it gets tough, that's where you should be like leaning into your partner. When you feeling like you are being ignored, when you feeling like you are going through a very tough time, and instead of doing that, most times human nature is to recluse and go out your happiness and find something else new.
All right. Anybody else want to add to it? Go ahead, Sheriff.
I just wanted to say that I feel like majority of the people didn't actually answer the question. The question is how to actually be close to someone. And a lot of people are saying why. A lot of people aren't really describing how or what it feels like to be close to someone. They're more so talking about their problems or struggles that they've had, which is fine if that's like what we're doing here. But I feel like it was more so like, yeah, I don't feel like everyone answered the question.